this year I've definitely have seen me learning a lot of trust in God. I've seen Him bring people into my life that have helped me tremendously, especially Elijah, Aaron, that had I been alone in this season of 2022, I don't know how, I might tear up, I don't know how it would have survived.
It was this year what God has done. He really put our, coming into a new relationship, and, it really put, our faith in God singularly and together to test for sure. Having to go through trial after trial after trial for 6 months or so. It was rough, to say the least. And, just sitting there, kind of just saying, just trusting God. It almost like, hey, it wasn't that it was wearing thin. It was just continually just going through it. And I mean, at the end of the day, He came through by the skin of our teeth. He came through with blessings upon blessings upon the perfect moment. It felt like after we went through all these trials, new relationships, new experiences and situations, He finally, came through and blessed us. And He's really true to the word. Like, He will not give you anything that you cannot handle.
And it's literally like divine timing. Divine, in this, when we met, it was at a time where I was, not even seeking a relationship and or had the time or the thought process for that, but God knew that I needed Him, and it was at the perfect time. So I would say definitely my theme word for 2022 was trust, trusting in God. Coming into 2022, I was building a stronger relationship with God, so I knew I had that foundation. And I think at the beginning, He was like, "All right, we're gonna trust. We're gonna take this and see how much you trust me with this." And then it was like we got up all the way at the top of that roller coaster. He's like, "All right, hold on, here we go." It's like car accident, hurting myself, losing my job, all these things. But it was through that divine timing, trusting Him, and having someone that He sent to me to be my little helper along the way. I'd say for sure everything started to come together. And it seems now that at the end of 2022, like that the last little puzzle piece is like being patted in there, and it's you can see the picture of why all those tumultuous things had to happen. And why I had to learn to lean into God more and to trust Him more to get through all of these things. Because had I not had that trust, had I not had that relationship with God, and had I not met this individual, I think it might have gone a little differently, for sure. And had I not had the church, through Elijah, that's how I found the church. That's how I came to this church and met Carlos and met Gina and met all the individuals here, and had prayer warriors, praying for me through all those tumultuous times. Oh, for sure.
For sure. Had to.
Right.
Clean.
For sure.
Clean. I mean, definitely, just the whole dynamic of the situations, plural. Like it was very, it was a lot. We had no other choice. Not that, of course, we were forced into it, but we had no other choice but to just trust in God, because there's nothing else that could help us at that moment. And it's almost like a movie. You get to the climax and you're just like, how are they gonna do this? Like, I'm giving it to you, God. Multiple nights. Crying and just trying to get, what are we gonna do? How is this gonna happen? Just give it to God. That's all we can do. Is just give it to God, and it's the most powerful thing you can do. It's what got us through and gave us peace. Had we not had that trust in God, togetherness and separately, it would have driven someone insane. It was hard.
In ways that I can see that God has changed me this year, I had other coping mechanisms that I would use when I was stressed out, and this year I definitely say that I didn't go to those same coping mechanisms or rely on those same coping mechanisms that I had in the past. And I, instead of doing what I did before, I would, put on some elevation worship and, praise my way through it, because it was the only way that I knew how to get through it, instead of going back to old patterns. So I definitely say I drew closer to God this year than years in the past.
Definitely church being somewhat of a mold for me. I mean, I've been here for 5 years. Carlos and Gina have seen me go through it. So, but specifically in this last year, just being there for me, allowing me to grow, obviously me maturing by myself, having to be, mature kind of even a little bit faster, with her and her daughter. It was definitely, there as a good foundation for me to always land on, to always be part of, to always have guidance.
I would say meeting new friends, making new friends, having Carlos and Gina pray for me, of course. Gosh, I get so worship. Knowing that I could text Carlos or Gina, no matter what time it was, or these are people that I'm just meeting and saying, hey, my daughter's in the hospital. Can you pray for us, please? Can you start a prayer in instant reply? We're praying for you. We've done this. We've started this for you. We've got your back. Just knowing that the church had my back, and they didn't know me. Really, who am I? I'm Elijah's girlfriend, and I'm just somebody who's coming to this new church. And they're never hesitant. There were times where I was looking for a job, and Gina, hey, I got this, and have you looked into this? And knowing that I had somebody, that support, I would say for sure. Keeping me closer, helping me build my relationship with God, being more open with what an idea of what church is, what church looks like. Making me hold my relationship with God, making me be accountable, choosing to be more accountable, showing up for church every week, and choosing to set aside that time for God and making time for God. I would say definitely wanting to be here, wanting to see everyone's face, and be in communion with those who are there for me. And show up for them because they've shown up for me so many times. I see amazing things for this church in 2023 from the short period that I have been here, and just seeing how warm and welcoming everyone is here. I can just see us doing a lot in the community. Myself, I would love to get involved with the community, with the church, more frequently, and be the church out in the city like we're called to be. I see us doing all kinds of things for this city, and I can't wait to see what the next year brings for us.
I always see a lot of potential. Every year has been a milestone with this church, and especially just with it just slowly coming together even more and more. Especially, I know there's going to be amazing opportunity with this park coming next to us, and with the space downtown.